Hello, Victoria Belew Schaefer here with astrologicmagazine.com with another Tarot Dreamscape. Tarot Dreamscapes are where I interpret someone's dream according to the symbology in their dream. And then I do a tarot spread from the Thoth deck that gives them clear direction on how to work with what their dream said in order to marry that with the energy that they currently possess according to the tarot to create positive results in their life. And so with permission, I have a dream interpretation from one of my clients that I would like to share with you. And then we will move through and show you how the tarot then works with the dream. So this is a quote from the client who says, her dream was, my husband and I walked into a small white room that had no furniture. Immediately after, at least two men came in and began ripping up the beige carpeting on the floor while we were standing on it. They were pulling it up in one giant piece, and there was a thick roll of carpet on one side of me, and I was close to the wall on the other at one point. I felt panicked because I was afraid I was about to be wrapped up, lost, and suffocated. I called out for my husband, who rescued me. That was the end of her dream. And so clearly, when I interpreted that dream, I knew that she felt like literally the rug had been ripped out from under her the previous day. There was something that totally took her off balance and felt like she was put in a position where she had the possibility of being lost or suffocated somehow, either physically or metaphorically. She then related to me that one of her clients, one of her vendors that day had suddenly gone out of business, someone who provided products for her business, and that threw her into a really bad situation where she was afraid she wasn't going to be able to continue her own business. And so truly, the dream reflected exactly what had happened to her physically the day before. And so the dream that represented, yes, the rug was literally ripped out from under her, and she felt like the walls were closing in. But her husband came and rescued her, and in our dreaming mind, spouses represent our desire for unification. It is a pulling together. It is a unifying of our subconscious and conscious minds. And so she was able to not totally lose it in her dream, but rather to feel like she was being rescued. And so we pulled a spread from the Thoth deck, and as I always do for my dream interpretation clients, we pull three cards: the overview, the challenge, and the course of action called for. And frequently we have a bonus card that wants to be read, and indeed this case we did. So in the overview card, in the overview position, we have the Prince of Cups. And here we have the beautiful, handsome Prince of Cups, and he is all about desires, manifesting our desires. And he also speaks to the possibility of transformation. And so in the overview position, this speaks to her desire to get her life back on track, to make it feel like the rug is not being pulled out from under her anymore. And so, yes, she has the Prince of Cups in the overview position. For her challenge, then, this was perfect for her as well. It's the Three of Cups, and it's abundance. And it says that her challenge is to feel abundance. And this translates into opportunity. The roadmap for her says, look at this as an opportunity for abundance to come to you. Yes, it's a challenge, but if you can meet the challenge, then it will totally redirect your life and abundance will be the result. So the course of action called for, and I love this, is the Devil. And the devil says to be mirthful, to find the sense of humor in what bedevils us. And while that might not be easy when you have had a sudden shift in your business that you're having to scramble to fix, nevertheless, if you can be mirthful, if that can be your course of action, then you're going to move through it so much easier, so much more positively, that you will have the opportunity to find the abundance that is her challenge. And so this was, I thought, really good advice for her. The bonus card, which, as I said, usually wants to be drawn, this time was also so perfect. It's the Two of Discs, and it's change. And indeed, change is all about what this whole dream and reading was. And so you see the snake coiled around but returning. And what this symbolizes is change happens constantly. It's a constant movement. Whether we realize it or not, whether we want it or not, change is something that if we can come to deal with it in a healthy way, when we expect it and even when we don't expect it, then we move through life so much easier and more productively. And so this was the perfect card for her to help her understand that yes, her desires could be met, that there is an opportunity for her to move through this challenging time, and that is the exact roadmap to do it. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode of Tarot Dreamscape, and if you would like to have more information about it and read more about astrology, tarot card readings, dream interpretation, gemology, essential oils, many other things, go to astrologicmagazine.com, and for the price of a fancy cup of coffee, you can have access to the magazine for an entire month. Thank you so much.